DreAllDay.com.
What's going on, everybody? Dre Baldwin with DreAllDay.com here with this week's motivation. This week's motivation is about proving yourself. Proving yourself every time out. Now, we all have times when we are locked in and we're really focused on proving ourselves. For example, if you're an athlete and there's a tryout for the team, you're not on the team yet, you got to prove yourself to get yourself a spot on the roster. We all are focused on proving ourselves in that situation. Or a situation where maybe you failed last time, or you came up short, or you had a position, you had a spot and you lost your spot, somebody took your spot, you feel like it was taken from you unfairly or given to somebody that didn't deserve it, and now you're like, all right, now I got to get back and show everybody that I'm still as good as I used to be, or I still deserve the position that I've had before. We want to prove ourselves then. Or somebody happens to call you out or say something negative about you, or you just think people are saying things negative about you, or you think they're thinking negative about you. You're like, all right, I'm gonna prove myself right here and right now. And this is, everybody has that. But I'm sharing with you right here, every human being has that in common. We have all had times in our lives, and we probably all will have moments in our lives moving forward where we feel like we need to prove ourselves. And usually we go out and we do it. When we're motivated to prove ourselves for whatever reason, we usually go out there and do it. What I want to talk to you today about, this week's motivation, though, is not about those moments, because those can happen to any human being. They don't have to be any special type of person. And I think those of you who are watching these videos, you're a special type of individual. So the proving that you got to do got to be without provocation. You need to be waking up every single day, approaching your work, approaching your sport, approaching your business, approaching your entire life with a mindset of proving yourself, even when there's no external force that is bearing down on you to make you say, oh, I got to prove myself now. It don't have to be somebody saying something. It don't have to be a tryout. It doesn't have to be some new person that you feel like you got to make sure they understand that you're the best. It doesn't have to be some negative situation that happened that you feel like you got to get back to the place you were at before. It's just internal. It's a perpetual internal mindset of, I'm going to go out there and prove myself just because this is my job. As we talked about last week, hard work, being relative to what you're used to doing. Doing it just because you know that's what you want to do. Doing it because you know that's what your brand is about, being your name. Just you as a person is a brand. Whether you have a business, a job, you in school, you're a brand. You want people to know that your brand is worth what it's worth every single day, just because. There doesn't have to be any external reason. Doesn't have to be a championship game. Doesn't have to be any money on the line. You're just doing it because that's just what you're about. And the true professional, the person who shows up every single day and gets the job done regardless of what you're feeling on the inside, the true professional goes out to prove themselves every day. They don't need any motivation, quote unquote. I remember hearing Doug Collins, who's a broadcaster. I don't know if he still does it. Broadcaster for NBA games. He was the coach of the Chicago Bulls when Michael Jordan first came to the NBA. And in 1998, when Jordan hit the shot against the Utah Jazz to win that championship, after the game had ended, Doug Collins was broadcasting that particular game. And he said, you know what, Michael Jordan, at this point in his career, he doesn't have anything to prove. He's won the championships. He's won all the awards. He's won the MVPs. He's been the leading scorer. He's the best player by far. But he goes out there, even though he has nothing to prove, he goes out every single day and performs as if he has everything to prove. That's the perpetual mindset that you need to get into yourself, and you need to keep with yourself. Don't just get it in you today or some random day that you decide to get motivated, or some day where you just feel good or things are going well for you. This is a perpetual decision. This is a decision. This is not something that just happens to you. This is something that you choose to make happen. A decision you make to go out and prove yourself every time out, simply because that's your job. Work on your game. DreAllDay.com.